Here's a sentence you don't hear every day. I'm 57 years old and I'm buying my first tube screamer. We're going to give it the going over together today, right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes. Yes, I'm 57 years old and I just bought my first tube screamer. I know that sounds crazy, right? You're probably asking yourself, how could you get to be 57 years old and had never bought a tube screamer? I'm going to tell you in just a second. But first, if you're new to the channel, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe. This channel is kind of like Black Star. Every once in a while, Black Star will put something out that we get excited about, and then we remember that it's Black Star. Celebrate mediocrity. I would say being 57 and never having a tube screamer is pretty mediocre, but I'm going to tell you the reason why. For the longest time, all I had was the Line 6 AX2 and then all the gain on tap that you would ever need. You didn't need any pedals with it. And then when I started getting higher gain amps, I got the Marshall DSL and I got the Mesa Mark V. The DSL in particular, I was surprised at how much I did not like the gain on the high gain channel much past 1 o'clock like so many of the rest of you. I thought, man, this is a Marshall and I got to use a pedal, and everybody's saying, use a tube screamer, use a tube screamer, tube screamer. There ain't going to be no specs or any B-roll. This is a flippin' tube screamer. Oh, and by the way, I bought this at Earle Teat in Delmar, Delaware. And no, this is not a sponsored video. And no, this is not in content ads. I'm just telling you that they don't give me everything for free. I got to buy something every once in a while to keep this me mooching off them relationship going. There's not going to be any stupid unboxing either because it's a tube screamer. It was a box. It had a manual and a plastic bag in it. So without a further second of delay, we're going to just jump right into the tones. Ah, yes. Nothing like starting off a musical segment with a clean D.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The year was 1979. I had kind of a cheap Les Paul copy with not so great pickups, and I had a solid state amp with zero gain, just volume. No gain. I ain't kidding. Nothing. All the way up, clean as hell, just loud. So subbing in for that 1979 amp, I've got my Orange CR120, solid state on the clean, nothing but clean. So I needed me a distortion pedal. I needed something that would go, son. Something that would allow me to live my hard rock metal dreams in my bedroom, kind of the same way I'm trying to live my hard rock metal dreams in an unused room in my house. But here's kind of how I probably would have had it set up back then. I wanted all the drive that it had. I think it might come in at unity gain. I hope it won't blow it up. We'll hit a power chord, D. That's a lot better than what I had, but you know what? Oh, dude, it's still not righteous, man. That's not metal, bro. I tried to do this. And the reason I didn't play it very well in 1979 is because that riff did not exist. So I had a problem. The riff I liked did not exist. And I couldn't get the tone that I needed out of this. It just wasn't going to work for me, bro.
Oh, man.
It just is not enough. You know, a 14-year-old me in 1979, and wait, I know you're trying to do the math. I hear the wheels ticking. This, you know, this middle, it just didn't get me there. I mean, I appreciate that now more. No, see, that just wasn't my jam back then. But while I'm here, I don't know that I've ever heard like people chirp on and on the interwebs or on the YouTube guys, gear page guys about how they use a tube screamer to boost their solid state already high gain amp. You know, tighten it up like they talk about doing with Marshall, sometimes with a Fender. So I'm gonna switch over here to the noises side and give us a little bit of beef. The gain in the Orange, we have it set, where is it? Oh, it's about 3 o'clock. So it's a lot. What if I wanted it tighter than that? So we use the old tube scream tighten it up trick, just kick the front end up a little bit. Do you hear how much broader it sounds just straight through the Orange? And then, yeah, it's okay, so yeah, it definitely tightens it up. Oh yeah, that's awful. That's awful, sorry guys. And gals, they, them, zums, all y'all. Yeah, it definitely did pull it together and focus it a little bit more, which was its friend. And I might come back and do just this with the Orange, because probably nobody's ever done that. Probably because nobody's interested in that, but that's where I specialize, is making videos ain't nobody interested in. And speaking of things I know y'all aren't interested in, on to the next segment. I've switched over to the Marshall. We're on the clean channel, but the crunch mode. We've got gain, again, that's about 2 o'clock. And it's a little crunchy, and I've switched to this here Telecaster, made in Mexico, but it does have the Fender Vintage 52 pickups in it. I just wanted to see how the Tube Screamer, does it punch up, pickups that are a little softer and put them in the zone. In the zone. So this is the bass tone. It's got a little something. So we'll bring in a Tube Screamer like you do for that punch up.
Ooh, you suck.
I like that. I didn't expect to like that.
That's what she said.
Now, when you're using the Tube Screamer in this mode, as you know, you're just pushing the front end, you're not really getting any extra like gain character, distortion character out of this. You're just actually sort of just punching up your amp's natural distortion. Now, I realize a lot of y'all don't really love the Marshall DSL distortion, especially when you go to the other side. But just bear in mind, that's what you're getting more of. And you say, I don't like the pedal, it ain't the pedal in this particular case. Oh yeah, that's a real nice. Well, hell yeah, I like that a lot better than I thought it would. So let's go back to Unity Gain, and let's just come in again where we're gonna feel it. See, that's not exactly chugging, but that every tone has its place. Don't let somebody say, oh, that tone sucks, bro. Every tone has its place. It's like people. Bonk. Oh, it was such a well-played passage, then I went bonk. 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 Oh yeah. Almost makes it sound like a P90 neck. I like that. Another good combination that I stumbled upon. I'm sure I'm the only person to ever do Ibanez Tube Screamer with a low-powered Tele into the Marshall Crunch. I'm sure that I'm the only one. On to the next segment. What? Okay, one last switcheroo. The Charvel DK24HH just got some Seymour Duncan, some reasonably hot pickups in it. We have switched over to the Ultra Gain channel on the Marshall side, lead 1. And if you know anything about this DSL, you know that if you go much past noon, 1 o'clock, oh, it's just god-awful. So I've got it set at about 11:30. And just its native bass sound is... But it's not really Sunset Strip yet. So how do we do this with the Marshall that way, kids? You tell me, kids. Like there's anybody under 1,000 knows how to do this. 80s people, I think that we just use it to push the front end a little bit and we don't bring the character in. And I think we do that to make it jump a little bit too. Let's try it like that. Let's line them babies up. You see that, folks? Bip, bip. I'm sold on that. Let's give it the rest. Yeah, so you can really go for more of a classic. The first tone, especially that riff, felt more Kissish to me. The second one was obviously a little more gain. But again, we're just giving it DSL extra gain. So let's get this back to unity. Start low, go slow, just like with edibles. We're going to 11 o'clock. So we'll just, I expect this, we'll try this in a grindy something. I think it's going to be noisy if I hit this button. Obviously, and as usual, I took it past the point of stupid. But yeah, I do feel like it tightens it up quite a bit. Single coil neck. Oh my goodness, I love that so much more. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, that's sweet. Bridge humbucker, we'll just try some lead. I've always wondered if Eddie used a tube screamer. Let's find out. I don't know. Not sure that was Eddie. What did we learn today? We learned I was right about tube screamer. You can't stick this in front of a clean amp, especially solid state, and expect it to give you any kind of metal tone, even with the distortion turned all the way up. We also learned that I was wrong about the tube screamer in that it will goose a driven solid state gain tone in a really, really pleasant way. And in fact, for like bluesy tones, that same clean tone, this really works well with it. And finally, we learned that you all were right about the magic of the tube screamer in almost any Marshall. Both sides, on the crunch and the high gain, it was just delicious. Perfect application for that. As always, I thank you for the time that you spend with the channel. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Tell some of your ratty, government cheese eating, no bill paying, moochy, embarrassing friends about GearGasms. You know they're going to fit right in here perfectly. I'm just going to show you gorgeous people who have bought and parade around in GearGasms merch. And maybe they don't parade around in it. Maybe they're smart and they bought a coffee mug or a pillow that they can hide when decent people are over. Whatever you do in the next 7 days, don't tell Madonna about it. She went from banging Dennis Rodman to looking like him. But play more guitar, watch less of this, keep coming back here week after week for more GearGasms.